Rival cartel members tortured, castrated, and beheaded. Drug cartels are known to have no mercy for their rivals. However, what they do is on a higher level of cruelty. They don't just kill their enemies, but also torture them first, often brutally, causing immense suffering. After the torture, they castrate the victims as a form of humiliation and mental breakdown before finally executing them by beheading. This cruel act is not just an ordinary murder, but is designed to serve as a warning to anyone who might dare to oppose them. By displaying such brutality, drug cartels seem to aim to instill deep fear in the community and rival groups while intimidating those who might attempt to obstruct their ambitions. This underscores that in the world of cartels, power and dominance are often achieved through boundless violence. These brutal actions not only affect the direct victims, but also create deep psychological trauma for the surrounding communities. Many witnesses might not dare report the incidents due to fear of similar retaliation. Cartels often exploit their reputation for cruelty to strengthen control over the territories they dominate. Methods such as torture and beheading also carry strong symbolic elements. In some cases, the mutilated bodies of victims are deliberately left in public places as a warning message. This message is directed not only at rival groups, but also at authorities and the general public. In this way, cartels create an image that they are a force that cannot be opposed without dire consequences. Additionally, these actions demonstrate how drug cartels do not merely operate as criminal organizations, but also as entities that seek to establish their own order outside the law. They often use extreme violence as their primary tool to overcome competition and enforce authority. This brutality reflects a disturbing level of dehumanization, where human lives are regarded as nothing more than tools to achieve their goals. Unfortunately, phenomena like this show no signs of abating. With the vast resources cartels possess, including weapons and political influence, they continue to pose a significant threat to social stability and security in many regions. This presents a major challenge for governments and law enforcement agencies, which often lack the resources to confront such organized and brutal criminal organizations. If you want the video, please contact my Instagram in the description and mention the title of the video you would like to see. Executed by PPC gang members. Brazil. A young drug dealer known for frequently breaking the unwritten rules of the gang eventually met a tragic end. These rules are sacred in the gang world, especially in Brazil, where criminal groups like PPC, Primeiro Comando de Capital, dominate with an iron fist. This young man was accused of selling drugs in a territory that wasn't his, a major violation considered an act of betrayal among them. Initially, he managed to escape punishment several times, perhaps due to his young age or his cleverness in avoiding attention. However, his luck didn't last long. This time, his violation was unforgivable. Members of the PPC gang, notorious for their ruthlessness, gave no room for negotiation or remorse. They immediately tracked him down and captured him without significant resistance. The young man was then dragged deep into the Amazon rainforest, a place often used by gangs for executions and disposing of victims. The dense and remote forest became a silent witness to the cruelty, a place where no one would hear screams or pleas for mercy. There, without pity, they carried out their task swiftly but brutally, with a shot to the head. This execution was not just a punishment for the young dealer, but also a message to anyone who might think of defying the established rules. The PPC gang is known not merely as an ordinary criminal group, but as an organization that enforces its own order, often through extreme violence. With this act, they reasserted their power and instilled fear among their members and the surrounding community. This tragedy reveals the dark side of the criminal world, where there is no room for mistakes. And punishment often comes in the most horrifying ways. The rainforest, which should be a place of life and natural beauty, becomes a stage for relentless violence that takes lives. If you want the video, feel free to contact me on my Instagram in the description and provide the title of the video you'd like to see. Dude fucked cartel member's wife, got shot in head, Mexico 2016. A man who dared to sleep with the wife of one of the most influential cartel members in the region sparked great anger. The cartel member, who did not tolerate any form of insult or betrayal, quickly took action to put an end to the disgrace. He first executed his wife coldly, although this scene is not visible in the circulating video. After that, he proceeded to deliver the same punishment to the man who became his wife's lover. Brutally, the man was shot in the head as a warning and an act of revenge for what was considered an insult to the cartel's honor. This incident highlights the harshness of the rules within the cartel world, where loyalty, honor, and fear are the main pillars upheld with blood. This execution was not only about personal revenge, but also a clear message from the cartel to anyone who might consider defying them. In such a criminal world, even the smallest actions perceived as betrayal affect not only the individuals involved, but also the entire power structure within the cartel. In the circulating video, although the execution of the wife is not visible, the scene of the man being brutally shot in the head becomes the main highlight. No mercy, no room for negotiation. The unwritten rules enforced with an iron fist are how the cartel maintains their authority in society and within their own network. This event highlights the boundless cruelty of the Mexican cartel world, where there is no room for mistakes or rule violations. Anyone who crosses the line will be punished brutally, no matter who they are. Even forbidden love can turn into a deadly tragedy, proving that in such an environment, the price for a single mistake is extremely high, often paid with one's life. This story also illustrates how the cartel not only dominates the drug trade, but also controls the social and moral lives of those within their circle. With extreme violence like this, they ensure that no one dares to break the lines they have drawn, no matter how personal or small the issue may be. In their world, honor and obedience are more important than anything, and they do not hesitate to use violence to enforce it. If you want the video, please contact my Instagram in the description and provide the title of the video you want. Execution of Afghan soldier by Taliban. When US and NATO troops left Afghanistan in 2021, the Taliban quickly came to power after 20 years of peace. Although they promised that they had changed, which in many ways is true, they had no mercy for the biggest traitors. Anyone who clearly collaborated with the US military was in danger of losing their lives. That is also the story of this man. Taliban soldiers, terrorists, executed him in cold blood with a series of AK-47 shots. This execution was carried out without any legal process or trial, showing that the Taliban still rely on brutal methods to enforce their power. The man, who was considered a collaborator with foreign military forces, became a symbol for many others who faced a similar fate after the Taliban's takeover of power. This event is not only an individual tragedy, but also a reflection of the chaos occurring in Afghanistan after the withdrawal of Western forces. Thousands of people who worked with US and NATO forces, including interpreters, government officials, and Afghan soldiers, became targets of retaliation. Many tried to escape, but not all managed to reach a safe place. With executions like this, the Taliban send a clear message to the public that they will not tolerate anyone considered a traitor or a threat to their regime. These actions instill deep fear among Afghan citizens, forcing them to comply with the new rules imposed by the country's new rulers. However, this act of violence also drew condemnation from the international community. Although the Taliban claim to have changed, events like this show that they still use old methods to enforce their power, with blood, fear, and intimidation. If you want the video, please contact my Instagram in the description and provide the title of the video you want. Pedophile beheaded and dismembered by cartel. A pedophile who had long abused his own child and 2 other children was punished by the cartel in his area. After being forced to confess his crimes, he was executed by beheading and his body was dismembered. The cartel left a warning message at the site of his remains to demonstrate their power. The execution video spread widely, sparking fear and debate. Some residents supported the action, feeling that official law could not be relied upon, while human rights groups condemned the brutal violence. This act by the cartel shows how their power is enforced through terror, replacing the law that should protect the community. After the incident, the atmosphere in the area became even more tense. Residents grew increasingly afraid of violating the rules set by the cartel. They lived in the shadow of power enforced through threats and violence. While some felt the action provided a sense of justice, many also realized that living under cartel control offered neither true freedom nor security. Meanwhile, the family of the abuse victims felt shattered. They not only lost a father, but also had to face the trauma of what their children had experienced. The cartel offered them no support, only violence as a form of punishment. No rehabilitation, no fair legal process, only cruel revenge. On the other hand, the execution video attracted the attention of the media and authorities. Local police admitted struggling to deal with the cartel's growing power, while the central government issued stern statements without taking real action. This situation reflects the failure of the legal and security system in the region. In the end, life under the shadow of the cartel became a vicious cycle. Violence bred fear, and fear sustained their power. Residents could only hope that one day there would be a real solution to stop this cycle, although that hope felt increasingly distant. If you want the video, please contact my Instagram in the description and provide the title of the video you wish to request. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the latest videos. The law of the world is nothing compared to the law of the hereafter. Remember that.